With the NFL season coming to an end and the Minnesota Vikings season coming to nothing short of a disappointment this year, despite winning 14 games last year and playing in the playoffs, today we're going to get into the top 3 quarterbacks that the Vikings can sign over the offseason or trade for to play with J.J. McCarthy or start over J.J. McCarthy. Let's get into it. And number one option, in my opinion, would be Kirk Cousins. Now, I know his play this year hasn't been the greatest, but he knows KOC's system. He signed a $180 million 4-year contract with the Falcons in March of 2024, $100 million that getting guaranteed, and his contract is set up to way if he is cut before June 1st, the Falcons are left with $75 million dead cap. However, if he is cut after June 1st, they are left with $50 million dead cap, saving them $25 million if he does not get traded. Now you're probably asking, dude, why would the Vikings want to bring in 38-year-old Kirk Cousins to play with the Vikings for one more year? I completely understand that. I am not against letting JJ play next year. But take a look at Malik Lewis, for example. He was playing with the Tennessee Titans, and then they traded him to the Green Bay Packers. And then now look at him. He is looked like a more well-rounded quarterback and looks like he can be a starter in this league for a very long time. Now, with that, do I think Kirk Cousins is the answer to the Vikings' problems that they had last year? No, I don't think he's going to come in and win us a Super Bowl, but I think he can definitely help J.J. McCarthy develop. And with that, I am all for that. This year, as a Falcon starter, he went 4-5, and he threw for 1,500 yards and 9 touchdowns and 4 picks, with the average passer rating of 86.4. Another reason that this can bring in the Vikings and help us out is if he doesn't start, which I think he's going to want to go to a team that he knows for sure he's going to start being near the end of his career. We have not seen J.J. McCarthy be healthy for a full season, but we have seen a lot of great flashes from J.J. McCarthy. And this video is not saying that I'm giving up on J.J. McCarthy or anything, but I definitely think we need to bring in a quarterback that's going to give him some competition in training camp. Now, another reason might be challenging to bring in Kirk Cousins to the Vikings is that contract that he has with the Falcons. The Vikings are negative $26 million in their cap space and one of the highest paying cash teams in the NFL. That Kirk Cousins contract is not very friendly to a team. However, if he is cut and the Vikings can get a couple $1 million, maybe like $15 million to, hey, Kirk Cousins, you want to come over here and play for us? I think the Vikings might be a consideration for him to come over and play. His family loved it in Minnesota, and I'm pretty sure he did too. However, he's probably going to want a multi-year deal. So let me know what y'all think about Kirk Cousins as a Viking 2026. Number 2 on my list is a guy that everybody's been talking about this year for going to start for a team or going to another team to make a running for a start is Mac Jones. Mac Jones is younger. He's 27 years old, and he signed a 2-year deal, $8 million contract in 2025, $5 million guaranteed. And that means he's going to be a free agent in 2027. And I'm no expert to cap space or I'm no expert to contract. When I see that and saying that he's going to make $4 million next year, I'm hopping all over that if I'm an NFL team. And I think a lot of other teams are going to be trying to get that too. The thing with Mac Jones is he will definitely be traded. The 49ers will definitely get something for Mac Jones, so that's going to cost some draft capital. Unlike Kirk Cousins, it's just going to be a cut and sign most likely if they were to do that. It's probably going to be some competition to get Mac Jones as well. I don't think other teams are going to just let him sit on the 49ers. I think they're going to be throwing offers at the 49ers, and who knows, maybe the 49ers might keep him. Mac Jones, 9 games as the 49ers quarterback this year. Either that's him starting or just playing as the quarterback in garbage time. He led them into a win versus the Rams this year. Now, the Rams being Super Bowl favorite this year in the NFC, that is a very good win in Mac Jones' career, especially him trying to revamp his career and go to a new team. Teams are going to be looking at that and be like, okay, this guy's a caliber starter in this league. On the 49ers this year, he threw for 2,151 yards, 13 touchdowns, and 6 interceptions, with an average passer rating of 97.4. I look at those stats and I say, okay, those stats speak for themselves, and he is definitely going to be a starter on a team next year. Now, same thing goes for Kirk Cousins. I think he's going to want to start on a team next year if given the chance. So with J.J. McCarthy on the Vikings, I don't know what the Wills will want to do with their quarterback situation or what KOC wants to do with their quarterback situation. But I love J.J. McCarthy. I'm not against letting him play. Again, I already said that, but bringing in another quarterback, especially a more experienced one, will definitely help everybody. Like I said, it's not like the Kirk Cousins situation. He will cost draft capital, I'm not sure how much. It wouldn't be a crazy amount, you would think, but I don't know. Other thing, he can play out his 2026 season on that contract, but at the same time, the start of 2027, he is going to get paid. So I don't know if the Vikings want to be that team to pay him. I mean, look, they didn't pay Sam Darnold, so why would they pay Mac Jones? But I guess we'll see. Now, the third quarterback I have on this list, I'm not sure if this is a hot take or not, but yes, I do have Marcus Mariota. So Marcus Mariota signed a one-year deal with the Commanders in 2025 for $8 million, and his signing bonus is $5.5 million, and that makes him a free agent in 2026. So this would just be a sign for the Vikings. No trades, no nothing. He is going to be available this offseason. Marcus Mariota is also 32 years old, so he's not a 38-year-old quarterback, but he's not a 27-year-old Mac Jones. So I think the Vikings would definitely be a team to take a flyer on this guy. Definitely the most easily accessible player on this list I have so far. I'm only doing 3 quarterbacks, but I definitely think there is a lot more quarterbacks in the NFL that the Vikings will look at. I think the Vikings would consider bringing in Marcus Mariota just to have a solid backup. I think if you bring in Marcus Mariota, you're not giving him a quarterback competition with JJ McCarthy. I think you're definitely relying on JJ McCarthy next year for being your starter and Marcus Mariota just being a solid backup like he did to Jane Daniels. So this year, when Marcus did play, he threw for 1,600 yards, almost 1,700 yards, 10 touchdowns, and 7 picks with a passer rating of 86.1. Bringing in Marcus, like I said, it could be a very likely signing in 2026 because of the 2025 season decimated by the lack of quarterback play. About y'all, but I don't see them wanting to rely on Max Brosmer again, especially after the Christmas Day game and the Seattle Seahawks game. I don't see that happening if JJ McCarthy goes down with an injury. Like I said, this would just be a sign for the Vikings. He's not going to have to trade or get traded. He's not going to have to be very expensive. He's going to be very inexpensive when it compares to the other quarterbacks I have on this list, obviously. But yeah, man, I'd be on the lookout for Marcus Mariota signing by the Minnesota Vikings in 2026. Now, here we go to the honorable mentions. Got just a couple honorable mentions, and the first one I've got is Aaron Rodgers. Yes, Aaron Rodgers, the 40-year-old quarterback, or however old he is now. We got to remember he just signed a one-year deal with the Steelers, so he is going to be a free agent next year. Who knows if he's going to retire? Who knows if he's going to want to play for another team? We got to remember that he wanted to play for the Vikings, and they didn't want Aaron Rodgers, so who knows? Maybe they look at last year and they're like, hey, maybe that Aaron Rodgers signing wouldn't have been all that bad. Is he going to win a Super Bowl? Probably not. Is he Aaron Rodgers still? Yeah, he's Aaron Rodgers. He's a veteran quarterback and provide you maybe one more year of solid quarterback play, especially him knowing everything that he knows. He can pass that on to JJ McCarthy and teach JJ McCarthy everything that he knows before he either leaves the NFL or I don't really know what Aaron Rodgers has planned for 2026, but he might stay on the Steelers, he might go to another team. Who knows? I'd just be on the lookout for that signing. I'm not saying I want that to happen, but it is very possible. Another quarterback I have on this list, just because of his little breakout he had this year, is Malik Willis. I think he's probably going to be more expensive than a lot of these quarterbacks, but I think is definitely possible. He started his career with the Tennessee Titans, didn't work out. They traded him, and he sat behind Jordan Love, and he's been learning. He's been having developed seasons for couple years now, and now look at him. He knows what he's doing. It looks like he can be a good starter. One thing that's going to stop Malik Willis from being a Viking is they look like they want their franchise guy to be JJ McCarthy, and also the money situation. And the third quarterback I have on this list is, yes, Daniel Jones. I have Daniel Jones as the honorable mention, the final honorable mention in today's video. And yeah, this one kind of hurts because he was on the practice squad. He did have that gruesome injury with the Colts, so who really knows what he's going to look like out of that. I really think the Colts might keep him and just so they can have their franchise guy. And I don't see them really moving away from Daniel Jones. They probably will re-sign him, but you never know, man. You really never know. He's having a great year with the Colts, so I think they're going to look at that and be like, hey, this is our guy. We trust you. We're going to pay you, and we're going to hope that you can come back from this injury even stronger and win us a Super Bowl. But yeah, that was today's video on top 3 candidates to be on the roster next season for the quarterback position of the Minnesota Vikings. Let me know what y'all think in the comments. If y'all think I'm stupid, that's cool. If y'all think that I'm right and some of these points are good, let me know. And I appreciate y'all watching. See y'all next time.